Behind the glamorous Porsche brand lies a prodigious but dark story, a tale of success, tragedy, innovation, and destruction. To understand it, we need to go back to the beginning. In 1898, a talented engineer named Ferdinand Porsche left his job to start a new journey in the car industry. Over the next few decades, he created some of the fastest and most groundbreaking vehicle designs for other car manufacturers, turning himself into one of the greatest engineers of all time. But after starting his own car company, his success led him down a darker path. He got involved in military projects for the Nazi regime, which eventually landed him in prison and cost him his life. So buckle up as we uncover the real story of Porsche, from its controversial start to becoming one of the most prestigious luxury car brands in the world. Get ready, it's going to be an exciting ride. Ferdinand Porsche was born in September 1875 in a small village in the Austro-Hungarian Empire, now part of the Czech Republic. At that time, carriages, trains, and bicycles were the mainstream transportation, while the first automobiles were slowly spreading around the globe. Porsche grew up learning the trade of his father, who ran a blacksmithing business. However, he never showed much interest in the family business, focusing instead on his studies, hoping to find his career elsewhere. Unfortunately, Ferdinand lost his older brother when he was 14, leading him to drop out of school and work full-time at his father's workshop. As the oldest son, he had to oversee the family's business. These times proved difficult for Ferdinand, as he reluctantly followed in his father's footsteps into a job he never enjoyed. However, he found fulfillment in exploring electricity during his spare time. At that time, candles and gas lights were still common, but electric light bulbs were slowly becoming the norm. Porsche became obsessed with the light bulb and began experimenting with electric circuits in his house's attic. His father was displeased with his new hobby and frequently told him to stop. But after noticing how passionate and obsessed Ferdinand was with electricity, he decided to enroll his son in the Imperial Technical School of Reichenberg to develop his knowledge of engineering. There, Porsche quickly learned the basics, and within a few months, built his own electric generator and installed electric light bulbs all over the house. His father could no longer ignore his son's talent and finally let him pursue his own path. Little did they know, this new path would go on to help pioneer a brand new industry: automobiles. At the age of 18, Ferdinand left his home and landed his first job at Bella Egger & Co., a manufacturer of electric machinery in Vienna. There, he was soon recognized for his traits as a brilliant and skilled engineer and quickly rose through the ranks. During his time at Bella Egger, Ferdinand Porsche built the company's first electric wheel hub motor. This motor, which could be attached to any vehicle's wheel to make it move directly, was initially used for bicycles, but soon Ferdinand was developing other ideas for it. Around this time, the first automobiles were beginning to emerge, creating enormous excitement among people and engineers looking to enter the new industry. After 5 years working for Bella Egger, Ferdinand decided to quit his job and started working for Jakob Lohner & Co., who had recently stopped producing carriages to focus on building self-powered vehicles. Here, the 23-year-old Ferdinand used his electric motors to build his first automobile, the Porsche P1. The Porsche P1 was a fully electric car, built using a wooden carriage, with an approximate 49-mile range. Although impressive, the car could only go up to 21 miles per hour due to the heavy lead-acid batteries it carried. At that time, automobiles were primarily built for competition and tested for racing across Europe and America. Porsche continued to improve his vehicle design, and in 1900, he added an internal combustion engine to power the electric motors, thus creating the world's first gasoline-electric hybrid car, the Lohner Porsche Electromobile. This vehicle went on to win various motorsports events and break several Austrian speed records, traveling at a top speed of 36 miles per hour. Despite Porsche's hybrid vehicle being far ahead of its time, its short range and weight of almost 2 tons hindered the development of electric cars for nearly a century. The partnership between Porsche and Lohner ended a few years later, and soon after, the Austro-Daimler car manufacturer recruited Porsche as their chief designer. Daimler, the leader in modern combustion engines, provided a significant stepping stone in his career. Here, Porsche designed his first purely petrol motor automobile, the Austro-Daimler Maya, in 1908. His time at the company led to his big break in the racing world when he developed the Austro-Daimler Model 2780, an 85-horsepower vehicle capable of reaching top speeds of 85 miles per hour. This car took first, second, and third place at the 1910 Prince Henry Trial Race, earning Porsche greater popularity and the title of professor at the company. When World War I broke out in 1914, a massive rush to produce war supplies spread across Europe. Austro-Daimler contributed large quantities of machinery to the Austro-Hungarian army. Porsche was drawn into the fold, creating groundbreaking designs for military aircraft, airship engines, and artillery tractors, such as the M17 Goliath, establishing himself as one of the best engineers of his time. After the war ended in 1918, Ferdinand Porsche returned to building race cars. By 1922, the Austro-Daimler Saga, a small vehicle designed to outperform larger engines, had won 43 out of 53 races, including the Targa Florio in 1922. In 1923, Ferdinand moved to Stuttgart and became the technical director and chief engineer for Daimler, which later merged with Benz and CA to become Daimler-Benz. During his time there, Porsche designed the luxurious Mercedes-Benz S-Series, paving the way for high-performance sports cars suitable for both racing and public roads. In 1928, he introduced the Mercedes-Benz SSK, a 7.1-liter, six-cylinder engine powered by 200 to 300 horsepower. The SSK became a champion of the 500 miles of Argentina in 1929, followed by victories at the 1929 and 1930 Cordoba Grand Prix races and the 1930 Irish Grand Prix. However, creative differences with the Mercedes-Benz board led Porsche to leave the company. He worked for another car manufacturer, but the company collapsed shortly after due to the Great Depression. Unemployed, Porsche made the biggest decision of his career, founding his own car company, Porsche GmbH. He brought in many former associates, including his son Ferry Porsche. Ferry, much like his father, showed great promise in designing and engineering, working wherever he could to prove his abilities. Initially, Porsche GmbH offered consulting and motor development projects for other car manufacturers, but clients were not coming in due to the economic crisis. However, a letter from an unexpected source would change the company's trajectory. Adolf Hitler became the Chancellor of Germany and took a special interest in automobiles. He recruited the best car engineers, including Porsche, and held an important meeting. Hitler wanted every German citizen to own a car that could seat a family of 5, be fuel efficient and cheap, costing just 990 Reichsmarks, which many engineers considered impossible. He called it the Volkswagen, or the people's car. Porsche submitted his design and won the contract. This alliance set up an unusual but great relationship between the two. Hitler needed a creative mind for his ambitious car, while Porsche needed political backing and finances. In 1934, Porsche and his team began working on the Volkswagen Type 1, later known as the Beetle. The Beetle, a two-door car with an air-cooled engine in the back, required minimal maintenance and had a fuel efficiency of 31.4 miles per gallon. After 300,000 orders were placed, it was Porsche's biggest achievement to that point. However, as the Volkswagen factory prepared to mass-produce the car, another major event was unfolding that would send Porsche's career down a darker path. Hitler invaded Poland, prompting Great Britain and France to declare war on Germany, marking the beginning of World War II. General production of the Beetle was put on hold as the Volkswagen factory prioritized war production. Being one of the best engineers and a close friend of Hitler, Porsche became involved in military projects for the Nazi army, developing off-road military vehicles and battle machinery like the Schwimmwagen, the Elephant tank destroyer, and the V-1 flying bomb missile. However, Porsche could not meet Hitler's expectations when it came to designing tanks. He lost the contract for mass-producing the Tiger heavy tank to Henschel and Son. Porsche had already built 100 chassis for his concept, which were later turned into Elephant anti-tanks. Although effective in battle, most broke down due to engine problems and mobility issues. The Porsche company also used slave labor in their Stuttgart factory during the war, a common practice among German factories. However, despite working with the Nazis, Ferdinand Porsche didn't really agree with their ideology. He was rarely known to raise his arm in Hitler's salute. Porsche company went from making 3,000 Reichsmarks in profit in 1934 to over 2 million by 1944. Despite Porsche's contributions to the war effort, his part came at a heavy price. After the war, Ferdinand Porsche was arrested by the French government for war crimes due to his SS membership and close relationship with Hitler. With him in prison, it was now up to his son Ferry Porsche to lead the company in a new direction. Ferry inherited his father's love for machines and had already built several vehicles, including the Schwimmwagen. Ferry was also arrested but released by the French government to raise money to bail out his father. He signed a contract with the Italian car company Cisitalia, building the Cisitalia 360 race car. The funds from this project allowed Ferry to secure his father's release. After Ferdinand's release, the family returned to Stuttgart and converted the factory into the modern car manufacturing plant known today. But Ferdinand was in poor health and unable to continue working, leading to his death from a stroke in 1951. Now the head of Porsche, Ferry focused on designing new car models. In 1948, he introduced the Porsche 356, their first official sports car. Built using an aluminum chassis with parts from the Volkswagen Beetle, the car's light body enabled it to reach top speeds of 87 miles per hour. The Porsche 356 quickly gained popularity for its aerodynamic design and overall performance, leading to several successful race wins. However, Ferry wanted to develop a more powerful engine, especially after the disaster at the 1955 Le Mans 24 Hours race, where Porsche's engine failures caused them to drop out of the competition. But as the company reworked its cars, a tragedy occurred that led them to reconsider. On October 12, 1956, during the Pan American Carrera race, several car drivers, including Erwin Bauer and John Bentley, died due to mechanical failures. Recognizing the need for a safer car, Ferry Porsche began redesigning a new flagship sports car, the Porsche 911. In 1964, Ferry introduced the Porsche 911 at the International Automobile Exhibition. Unlike the 356, the 911 had a more robust design and a larger engine, capable of producing 130 horsepower, twice that of the 356. Its sleek design, improved interior, and new independent suspension system made it Porsche's most successful sports car, capable of reaching top speeds of 130 miles per hour. The 911's first model, the Targa, was released in 1965, featuring a removable roof panel, making it the first safe convertible car. The 911 won its first race in 1965, the Monte Carlo Rally, and has since become a racing legend, with over 50,000 race wins to its name. After the 911's success, Porsche continued developing new models, including the 924, 944, 968, and 928, creating iconic cars that pushed the boundaries of speed and luxury. After Ferry's death in 1998, Porsche continued to innovate, introducing models like the Cayenne, Panamera, Macan, and Taycan. These vehicles combine luxury and performance, maintaining the brand's reputation. With their dedication to innovation and excellence, Porsche has become synonymous with high-performance sports cars and continues to be a leading force in the automotive industry. Ferdinand Porsche's life was a mix of brilliance and controversy. From pioneering the first hybrid car to creating the iconic Beetle, his legacy is profound. Although his association with the Nazi regime casts a shadow, the brand he built has endured and evolved, led by his son and successive generations. Porsche is now owned by the Volkswagen Group and is one of the greatest luxury car brands in the world, blending speed, luxury, and history. If you found this story intriguing, wait until you hear about BMW's shocking history, from its wartime roots to becoming a symbol of luxury. Click here to watch the shocking history of BMW, from war to luxury. And don't forget to turn on the bell notification so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching.